You will come through doorways that you didn't even know were there. See something unbelievable. But you have to believe it because it's right there in front of your eyes.
What you want to give her something bigger than you?
I forgot to record. Fuck! The good thing about VHS-tober is it gives me a lot of variety to work with, so if I get bored, really, it's my fault. Fuck! So let's have some fun. Let's descend into punk, rock, metal, and the dead. Shredding sees an aspiring punk band pay tribute to the once promising Bitch Cat, a four-girl ensemble of punk legends in the making. They did become legend in the worst way, when the club they played at burned down. Our protagonists seek out Bitch Cat's last venue to play where their idols once played, and just maybe come away with a lick of that promise and potential Bitch Cat left behind. Profiting off the dead, desecrating their death place, being punks, yeah, I see this ending in blood. Let me tell you something, loser, life's a party and you're either invited or get off my fucking porch! It's Rachel, Anchor, Chris and Caleb, scream loud and fuck shit up for Rack! Not bad. I was never hard into Avril Lavigne, but I gotcha. The opening blows the amp and keeps going like a proper punk caught between Generation X and Z. Unlike Bone Storm, which felt burnt out and shallow, this feels like post-MTV at its most living. That's the power of production value for you. Point is, the band document their grassroots beginning in a video diary called because they're arrogant pieces of shit who take for granted they're gonna be famous. Yeah, this was before video streaming and blogging. Being 8 parts deep into a documentary about yourself before you have anything to brag about was piss poor form at the time. And I know what I'm talking about. I've done that shit 5 or 6 times. And this episode's gonna be special. They are gonna break in.
Don't use that word, dumbass. What is wrong with you?
We're visiting the colony underground.
Right, sorry. They're gonna visit a nightclub.
It was an arts collective.
It was an arts collective?
So this arts collective.
Which burnt down 3 years ago to the date wherein the band on stage succumbed to the flames.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah.
As you can tell, Ankur, played by Kinush Tafreshi, is a bit uncomfortable with the idea of violating an impromptu crematorium, which makes me wonder why the hell he's even in a punk band. The whole idea is to rebel against culture, society, and all their bullshit propriety, dude. The night art club collective in question is the legendary Colony Underground, where nearly all the local talent got their start.
The KGB, Petty Cash, and the Star Fuckers.
And yeah, I couldn't find anything about them. Best I got was a Tom Petty and Johnny Cash cover band. And a 9 Inch Nails album. But the real attraction is Bitch Cat, the last band to play there and truly go out in a blaze of glory. The story goes an electrical fire panicked the audience and drove them across the stage, trampling the band members where they stood. Some say Bitch Cat didn't even die until the flames finally consumed them. Name a more metal way of going out, I'll wait. About Bitch Cat, they were up-and-comers of the strongest sort. A proper grassroots story where talent and passion became all they relied on to build their following. No fake promotions, no gimmicks, just word of mouth driving them toward fame and fortune.
We got in Deirdre's van and basically just played anywhere that take us. We're road warriors, man.
Yeah.
Again, the Lavigne comparisons are obvious. Although this would have been about 6 years before Lavigne made it big, so canonically you know they would have been huge if not for the fire. And now Rack is gonna break in, play a set, recreate the way Bitch Cat died, and put it all on camera to take advantage of the horrible tragedy that befell their idols. I mean, how could you possibly memorialize them better than that?
Play or die! Play or die!
Woulda, woulda, if only coulda. 'Tis the questions the hopeful state, and what one puts faith in says very little about a person. Some make it their entire identity, others are more subtle about it. Like Ankur, who have issues with the fascist bullshit of the world at large. But if the world is so wrong, if there is a right and wrong, there must be a reason for it. A guiding circuit by which it moves, a mandala larger than this transitory life. Or at least I assume that's his issue.
Rach, those chicks seem kind of nice. I just don't think we should fuck with their gravesite.
But like, you have to say why.
There are these stories, okay? Hindu stories about boots.
Guess how seriously they're gonna take that. Bhuta is a blanket term for several beings in a dozen spiritualities stretching from India to Malaysia, and to cover all of them would take a whole video. Sometimes they're benevolent, often they're not, but the nefarious ones feature heavily in Hindu tradition. They're described as a type of demonic beings created by Brahman in a fit of rage, but may also be the spirits of people who died a violent death. They remain until they're given a proper farewell through a shrad, and until that moment it's best not to anger them because they can be incredibly vengeful. And if Ankur didn't want them to make fun of him, he shouldn't have mentioned they're called fucking boots! Or that you ward them off with turmeric.
Supposedly, if you bother them, they'll just
For what?
they'll fucking possess you, okay?
Well, at least he didn't mention that boots possess people by immersing themselves in milk. Why would he even worry about finding milk in this place? Unless... Burn the woman! It sucks when friends make you feel like an idiot, but there are better places to invite it. Colony Underground laid indeed below 6 feet under, and after the fire it lay open like a dried corpse. It's not the type of place you admit believing in ghosts to a group of prank-happy punks looking for an excuse to mess with you. First out is Chris, played by Dashiell Derrickson.
Surprise, bitch! This fucking sucks.
Second batter, Caleb, played by Jackson Kelly.
Yo, Cam, stop that. Yo, that's not cool. Stop.
Third strike, Rachel, who does go the farthest. When they finally manage to get Ankur on stage and ready to rip into their premiere number in the #1 punk rock venue in town, barely have the song started when all the band members seize up stiff as corpses, shaking as if in an episode when Ankur ready to throw burnt turmeric all over them. And then they all burst out laughing because that look on his face is so fucking funny, that stony, tense, pissed off, not even slightly amused expression of fucking fury.
Why can't you learn how to take a fucking joke, Spice Boy?
I hope the Buddha get all of you.
Hank, seriously, burn the woman. She'll suffer and you can appease the Buddha with some grilled meat. Jeez, you make fun of someone's entire basis for right and wrong in the world and they take it so personally. Next you're gonna tell me this will somehow upset people.
4 bitch cats, 4 sex dolls.
God, I hope Ankur left the building. Much like tarot cards, the visual sometimes gets in the way of the spirit in which you desecrate an effigy. You see Rachel, Chris and Caleb reenacting 4 people's horrible death, you might think it's offensive, but actually, if you think really, really hard about it, really they're celebrating them in the most punk way possible. They jump and stomp all across the fragile plastic bodies, spewing red jello everywhere, cause yeah, simulating rape with the facsimile corpses, because yeah, this is about me, bitch, cause I'm alive and you're not, what you gonna do about it?
Get off my fucking stage!
If only ghosts were real.
What the fuck?
A jest that gives pain is no jest. Be careful who you offend. Not until the camera lifts by an unknown hand does Rachel finally wake from the stupefying trance of watching her band members torn asunder put her in. She runs and the camera turns to reveal 3 shadows. Presently immaterial, palpably physical, poetically fitted to the dried husk of Colony Underground. Dry as drums, strung as riffs, riven like vocals, blind as justice. Play or die. Play or die. Chris comes to feel his skin ripped from his flesh, and he screams a vocal range the desiccated vision trills in tune, mocking and mimicking. Next follows... What? He's the only one who was nice to you. What did he do? Well, he did stay within the building, but still, he didn't do anything dumber than that.
May you peacefully go to your final resting place!
Okay, yeah, he deserves to die. At last, the whimpering lead Rachel is all that's left. They need not chase her, there is no way out. She can only run herself down into a corner, and soon she shares her bandmate's fate, torn asunder like so much paper. But it's not yet over, as the vilified creatures play with the flesh. I mentioned Boots can possess people through milk. Like Ankur, I neglected to mention there is another way. Not about the fame, but about the real. Every show like a party with a mosh pit. Every fan like a part of their family. What's a party without a bit of violence? What's family but a part of you? Sundered by their fans and left to burn, bereft of the show that would make them legend. Bitch Cat remained chained to the tomb that was Colony Underground, abandoned to their fate until Rack gave them an out. To finish what they started. To lick part of their greatness. To think they'd be part of the legend as the Boots take hold of their broken frames and finish the set they started so long ago. It is exactly what it looks like. The zombified bitch cat reassembled the band member into flesh puppets for them to possess so they could play their music. Like the world's most awful sock puppet parody. I love this short. I barely know where to start with this one. You saw the same things I did. You know why this short is amazing. How am I supposed to affirm it further? The film was written and directed by Maggie Levine, a lifelong fan of rock music, and it shows. Introducing Rack through a video montage didn't just make it feel set in the 90s, but also let us know what these guys are like before the proper story begins. Ankur seemed overly sensitive next to the insanity the rest of Rack got up to. I almost wondered why he was even part of the band. But seeing him matching energy with the others at first made his reservations feel a lot more personal and new to the band members. Like an aspect they hadn't seen before and didn't know how to vibe with. It didn't seem strange that they were friends, even though Ank was uncomfortable with everything they did in the movie. He's not the only one to mention, they've all got small things to make them memorable. Like Rachel not taking shit or hiding emotions behind being a badass. If anything, it seemed the other way around, when at first she apologized to Ankur for pranking him, and then asked why he can't take a joke. Then there's Chris. He's got a strong teen Marilyn Manson feel about him. Balls enough to dress in women's clothing, so to speak. The only one I didn't feel anything about was Caleb, but in his defense, he was the camera guy. He's supposed to be a bit of furniture. Everything about the short is punk to hell and back. From the disrespect to convention, to the overgrown children, and the sheer unbridled confidence and don't give a fuck attitude. Both how it's awesome and how it so easily bites itself in the foot. Not to mention, the music is goddamn amazing, whether it's Rack We Hate the Same Things or Bitch Cat's Diamonds Turn Black. If anyone walks away from this short without a smile or humming the songs, I don't know them. So will I entirely let style sweep me off my feet? No, I do recognize there are faults. How did they make MTV graphics in the 90s? Who edited the video after they died? Why were they making a video in the first place? How could the zombies touch them if they needed their bodies to play music? How did they get a digital camera in the 90s? Hows and holes everywhere, and being overly sensitive myself, I know people couldn't stand or wait for these traversing dog piles of human feces to die like the rats they were. Why I didn't, I can't for sure tell you. Then again, might be because I'm coming off of Bone Storm, and this was essentially a better version of that. because I can more easily get swept up by music than I can skating. All in all, I found Shredding among the better segments of VHS 99 despite its many flaws. Flawed, but entertaining, and it did surprise me with the gore it pulled off. Parts of the film felt like splatterpunk, and you can't not love a film where zombies stitch their victims' bodies together to play a punk song. Unless it's actually made by Rob Zombie.